The staff. A musical staff represents the timeline of musical sound events. It is generally made up of 5 parallel lines and 4 enclosed spaces drawn horizontally across a surface or page. As you can see, notes are normally placed on these lines and spaces to inform which pitch should sound. Notes placed on top of each other will sound in harmony, and notes placed side by side of each other will sound as melody. The point is that every line and every space corresponds to notes on the keyboard. Staff generally is made up of 5 parallel lines and 4 enclosed spaces drawn horizontally across a surface or page. As you look at the staff, you start counting from the bottom. You will see the very first line is called line 1, the second line is line 2, third line, line 3, line 4, until you get to the topmost where you have line number 5. The same applies to the space. You count again from the bottom, you see space 1, 2, 3 to the topmost, which is space number 4. So just take a good look at staff. You see what staff actually represents. Alright, let's move on to the clef. Without the clef, we'll not be able to identify the kind of staff or stave that we are seeing. That's where clef becomes important. Clef becomes so important because it helps us to identify what kind of staff or stave we have. Now let's explain the clef. The clef is the musical symbol placed at the beginning of the staff, which indicates the pitch of the notes. The clef is the musical symbol placed at the beginning of the staff, which indicates the pitch of notes. Although there are several clefs used in music, the 2 most widely used are the treble clef and the bass clef. Each clef assigns notes to particular lines and spaces. Now let's explain the treble clef. The treble clef is also known as G clef. It circles the second line of the staff to locate key G. The treble clef or G clef fixes the high notes for the women and children's voices. The easiest way to remember this is that the G clef, it wraps around the second line, making all notes on this second line to be a G. You can see it in the figure there. Now as you look at it, you count